when we look into all this spiritual stuff and we familiarise ourselves with the scripture, whether they're Old Testament, New Testament, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Buddhist scripture, all these sort of things, all roads lead to Rome. And Rome now that one's surrounded by stinging nettles. Yeah, but I think what the fuck? I'm going to get you. I'm fucking gonna get stung 50 fucking times. Thorns and shit in my hair, but now, look, that was a perfect specimen. Let's turn you around. Now you can see that this is Amanita family, because it's got this big bulbous on the base. Now, unlike the deadly Amanitas, it doesn't have what's called a vulva, which is like the skin, the membrane coming over that. If we dig up a death cap or destroy an angel, then we'll usually see that. But you see, this one's an Amanita because it's got white gills and the bulbous. And that one is a shaggy parasol, and they are tasty. I'm going to eat it. So I've got to just carry it around with me for a while before I put it in my bag. So what was I speaking about? How annoying the Awaken Braves videos are. He just won't stay on topic. He won't be conformalized. So I'm speaking about religion and religiosity and stuff like that, aren't I? And what it actually pertains to. When we look all over the world, there has been like monasteries and you know, these places where monks and nuns spend their whole lives. We in the West, who are uneducated into these realms, will think that that's a waste of life. But it's because we don't know what life we are wasting. Now, they may look upon us and consider that we are wasting our lives, because all we are doing is chasing after the next better deal. We're always chasing after the next dopamine fix. We're running wild with these illusions of one day I can retire and I'll have everything I need, and then I can go and do all the things that I wanted to in my life. Well, invariably most people don't get there. They end up dying or stricken with any number of disease before they can live that level of comfort. And at the end of the day, you know, 70 years old, retirement age for a male in the Western world. What are you going to do when you're 70 years old? Not a lot, people. Now, you may think that, yeah, well, we can go on holidays and we can get nice cars and houses. What the monks and nuns have, they don't have anything. Well, having nothing is a beautiful thing. And the reason why I can speak so broadly about all this stuff, people, is because I've done it all. I've had many of the riches that this material world has to offer. I've had all the relationships with, the girls of my dreams on paper, and I've had all the trinkets. And when I had all of those, I was less and less happy than when I never had any of it. And so I got to a point whereby I was pretty wealthy for a shit kicker, and I became my own prisoner. I incarcerated my very self. And what was it that was incarcerating me? It was the possession of all of the things that I considered to be of value. The cars and the properties and, all the fine things that we can buy from Satan. We can buy it Satan marked. That's all it is at the end of the day, people. Anything that you're buying which is over and above your basic needs, you are buying it from Satan marked. And so next time you go to Walmart or any of those places, just ask yourself, do I really need this? Am I going to be able to survive without it? And you'll find that mostly you will be able to. But getting back now to these monasteries, invariably they're lovely buildings. They're old buildings. They've got their own grounds. They've got their own fortifications all around, so they can't be infiltrated by nasty, evil witches and wizards of the West. And they live an insular life. And that insular life, you may consider it is boring, but you don't know what pleasure they are deriving. Now, I'm not stating with any assurity that they actually do have what I am suggesting that some of them may have. I think very few actually do have what I'm going to be suggesting. But what I'm going to be suggesting is the real love, the real peace and tranquility of mind and heart, and joy in what they do. If they do possess that, then they are actually fulfilling what is supposed to be achieved via their isolated devotion. If they are still longing for the opposite sex and trinkets of the West, then all they're doing is just wasting their lives. Because unless they are 100% immersed into it, then they are always going to retain some level of resentment and bitterness for the life that they are living. But if we look then, let's say, at Buddha or a Hare Krishna person that spends their life in that level of devotion, not to a god, but to their higher self, devoted to stilling their mind, because within that stillness, that's where they find the reward and the profit from what they do. And so the years that have been invested in the stilling of the mind brings reward. So I can speak of that also. And so I know that the more meditation I have done in my life, the more profit I get. For instance, in recent times, meditating 5 hours a day for a whole year brought me tremendous profit. It brought me tremendous insight, tremendous stillness, tremendous gratification and joy with my existence, living a very simple life, wanting for nothing, I didn't want for anything. I accepted what I had, and it was adequate. And when you are hungry, when you can't nibble, sometimes when you can't nibble in between, depends whether you've got any money or not, but if you can't nibble in between meals, then you are hungry. And when you are hungry, there's a ball here, maybe pick it up, but maybe some of these guys. When you're hungry, then when you do eat, of course you're very grateful for it. Whereas if you're a little bit peckish and you satiate your hunger all the time, then any of you guys lost the ball? No? I'll go and pick it up then. Go and pick it up, because often these balls, they're like, I'll get £1 for them. And that's half a beer. You know, sometimes when I go foraging for golf balls, I can find 50 in a day, you know, within about 3 hours. And so averagely I'll get like 50 pence for these balls, and so that's 25 quid. And for a man that doesn't need much money. Now another ball has just come right down here, just down there, and he must have hit it from over those trees. Whacked it right over those trees. That's some shot, that is. I hope I've not stolen anyone's ball. I don't think so. So these people in the monasteries, people, if they are getting what I got from my meditation via their prayer, then they don't need anything. They don't need any members of the opposite sex. They don't need any fancy cars or clothes and stuff like that. They actually have everything they require. They are fed and catered for. They've got some sort of communion with, their fellows within their institution, and they have God. Now, when you just meditate and you don't have a deity, then you don't have God per se with any name, but you have something. You have spirit. You have a connection with the universe. So you do actually have God, but they don't pray to a God, and they don't necessarily believe in a God. But there is a God there, people. And when you spend a long time in meditation, you'll find it. And so I can well see how these people in these institutions do in actual fact get much more joy out of their lives than we do. And we think in our ignorance that, oh, it's going to be boring, we're wasting your lives without ever having any sex, and sunshine holidays and getting pissed and all that. They've got a whole lot more. They've got peace. They have love. They have pure contentment. They're not striving every single day, grabbing, seeking, searching for the next dopamine fix. No, they've already got it. And it comes via their prayer, their meditation, or their sedentary lives. So you see, people, when we remove the veil of ignorance from our eyes, we can see how the simple life has got a whole lot more to offer than this realm of Satan. And so when we read the Bible about Satan and hell and God and heaven and, these dichotomous lives, we've got to juggle between the two constantly. We don't have to. You can choose, like lots of people, they go off grid, and they'll just get a little humble abode, build it, out in the wilderness, and they will live a very joyful life connected with the cosmos. There's more than just growing your own stuff, people. There's more than just having a few chickens and, growing your own eggs and this, that and the other. There's the connection that you have with the cosmos. You're out under the stars, you're in the elements, you're feeling it, you're living it, you're breathing it, you're a part of it. You see more and more and more, you learn more and more, you're connected more and more. What are you connected to? You're connected to yourself. The more time you spend on your own, the more you're connected to yourself. What is the self? It's the spirit. What is spirit? It's the creator of the cosmos. What could be better than that? It's better than any partner you can ever share time with. Vastly over and above that. Because it will never ever let you down. It will never deceive you. It will never two-time you. It will never judge you. It is there. It is perfect. And it is genius. So, when we look then at how different people live their lives, don't you get to considering then that you are absolutely living hell? Look, if you're doing a job that you don't really want to do, unless you bounce out of bed every single day and it's the only thing on your mind to do whatever it is you do, then you're in hell. And, you can't justify whatever you do. Yeah, well, we've got to do that. No, you don't have to, and you've not got to. You can choose. You can choose to sign up for a monastery. You can choose to go off grid. You can choose to go and join a Buddhist community or any spiritual community. You can do all that. Yeah, well, I've got... Oh, no. Maybe you're too scared, or it'd be too much like hard work, or what would your family say? If you've got kids, if you're bound by that contract, that's the only excuse I'm affording you. But you only have that excuse up until they're 16 or 18 years old, and then you no longer are covered by that covenant. You're emancipated from it. They're young adults and they will understand if you want to go and live a different variety of life. So what am I doing now? What have I been doing for this past 12 years? I live a life which is between the two. I've got the solitude and the simplicity of living alone without having to share anything with anybody forever, unless I choose to. I go out with a couple of friends now and again. One friend once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, another friend once every several months, another friend once every 6 months, and that's about it. The rest of the time he's devoted to me. And so basically, in my mind, I'm living in the monastery. I'm completely self-reliant for the acquisition of shopping and cooking, and you have the beauty that I don't have to pay for it. How's that possible? What sort of magic spell have you cast onto the government, Awaken Brave? I've cast the Awaken Brave spell over the government, and they're all under my hypnotism now. Yeah. And so then my life is given to freedom. You see my videos, you see my life. Hello. Do you want to come inside Awaken Brave's tummy? Do ya? Yes, I do. I thought so. I knew you'd love that. Come on then. I'm gonna fry this one in a little bit of butter. And I'm gonna have it with a couple of fried eggs. And it's gonna be yummy. So, lots of my videos are asking you, where are you? Do you know where you are? Do you know who you are? I'm sorry for being so impertinent and putting you in a difficult position, because you've never really thought about things like that before. And watching the Awake and Brave channel is kind of a bit of an issue with you, because you've got to compromise, because you realise that you've been captured. You've been captured by the Pied Piper. What's that dude's name is it Oliver Twist or something like that? He rides around in his carriage drawn by horses. The child catcher, catching all these kids and then selling them to the orphanage. That's what's happened to most people. They've been captured by the child catcher. The catchers at a very young age, people. There's no difference when we look at these metaphors. In actual fact, they're very, very true. This child catcher in his black getup, with his black top hat and his long pointed nose, children, oh, come here. And I don't know, what does he do? Does he put some sweets in that cage or something? And disguises the cage as a tent or something, and then all of a sudden locks the door and pulls the disguise down, and carries them away. Well, that is going on today, and that's what this new film, Freedom thing, is about. The film about the procuring the children, how it's a worldwide business, and all the media are shying away from giving it any publicity, because the media are owned by these people who like eating and pedoing the kids. Oh my God, the reality we live in, people. And so anyway, we wake up and we find, where we are in life, and then we've got decisions and choices. And if you've been catched by the child catcher, then, once you realise what's happened, you can actually, uncatch yourself. You can do something about it. And you can escape. I'm looking for puffballs and things. So, living every day, chasing the trinkets, paying the bills, and always being worried and concerned about the economy and about, are they going to do this and are they going to do that? Am I going to lose my job? Oh, please, just let it go. If you don't have kids that you're responsible for, let it all go. I'm telling you, I had a lot of money, and I had all the trinkets and everything like that, but I wasn't happy at all. And if you read my first chapter, then you'll see how things were. And you'll look at me now and you'll see the Awake and Brave seems to have got his shit together. How did he do it? I'll tell you how I did it in that book. I've been telling you how I've been doing it in my videos for years. And yet you just stare at the videos, glazed over. And you go, oh, it's alright for the Awake and Brave, but I'm too scared. Oh, I could never do that. Or whatever. Well, your choice. Your choice. You choose. I think these are yellow stainers, because yellow stainers are all around here. Look at this. Yellow staining. But they don't smell bad at all. They don't smell of anything really, they don't even smell like mushroom. Very, very faintly of mushroom. And those things, Xanthodermos, yellow staining mushroom, people say, don't eat them, they're poisonous. And then it says the next line, well, not everybody gets poisoned by them. In actual fact, some people can eat them, you know, without having anything happen to them. Or what's the worst that happens when you eat these yellow stainers? Oh, you get upset stomach. Oh, it's quite painful. You get sharp stabbing pains in your stomach and you vomit. It's not the fucking worst thing that's ever happened to anybody, is it? You know what I'm saying? So why be terrified of these mushrooms that can cause your tummy ache? It's like lots of things when we watch it on the internet, people. How can a mushroom make someone violently sick and others not? How can we get, you know, half of the internet populace that have anything to do with rose hip procuring and cooking, that parrot fashion something someone once said, you know, 150 years ago? How many people have actually tried it for themselves and made videos saying, well, that actually isn't true? The amount of videos that you know, I've listened to, oh, be very careful about this and very careful about that. Oh, it's nonsense. So when I've made these videos on rosehip, I'll make a video and I'll go and stop. For goodness sake, let's just change that record, because it's all been a crock of shit. Now, a feast has been going on down here with this chestnut. So a squirrel has spent a good hour down there having a right good feast. I come by this place almost every day, and very often there's nothing here, and then a day later they're here. They grow at an inordinate speed. So anyway, people, I'm approaching my humble abode, my monastery. I'm approaching the Awakened Brave Monastery, where it is given to freedom and insight and cosmic connection. Why is it given to those things, Awakened Brave? Well, I just put myself in that space. What, there's just a space that you can get into, Awakened Brave? And then you can communicate with the cosmos? Yeah. What is that space? That space is called peace, tranquility. How you doing? Call me a nutter. You know, if you're making videos about things they don't understand, and you're picking things that they don't understand, then you're a nutter. But you know, I talk to him all the time. He knows what I'm about. He talks to me about fishing. That's all he talks to me about. And I talk to him about philosophy. When he talks to me about fishing, I engage with him and I ask him questions and I show an interest. When I talk to him about philosophy, he just stares and then changes the subject. He can't go there. This is the difference, you see, people. This is when I'm speaking about concentric circles, circles within circles within circles. He can never come out of his small circle into my more broader one. But I can go into his, and I can engage with all the things that he engages with. And, you know, he would think I'm a fisherman the way I speak about this and that. But I know nothing about fishing. It just all seems quite elementary to me. I just guess most of the time. I seem to be on point. So, finding the space is just a space. And it can be anywhere, anytime in the world. When you choose to leave all that stuff, you leave all the fears of the loss of it and all the rest of it, and you just decide that you want to know you. And when you know you, you discover that you are the universe. So not only do you know you, but you know the universe and the creator of the universe. Doesn't that sound like fun? It is. Trust me, people, it is. See you later.